Hi, everyone. How's it going? I'm trying something a little bit new here, so please bear with me if it is not working as it should, but hopefully it is. If you're on the call and you can hear me, just let me know. I'm trying for the first time a live stream through Zoom onto our YouTube channel. And what I want to do is I want to do a bit of a wrap up to Power BI Challenge 3. And so I'm going to share my screen in a little bit and just walk everyone through the challenge and some of the great resources and showcases that have been sent in. And just do a bit of a wrap up and then give you some news on Power BI Challenge 4, which is coming up very, very soon. Just give me a sec. I'm just going to move my camera here. And I want this to be a lot more relaxed, a lot more, a far more relaxed version of our recordings, something that we've never really done so much before. So just exploring some new ideas and new things in this new world that we're sort of living in with COVID. And I brought along my tea. So if you like to enjoy a tea as well, go for it. Okay, so got a few people on the call, which is pretty cool. So I'm gonna share my screen and I'm gonna just go through the recent challenge, and I'm going to show you some great resources and also ways that you can navigate around our own website or the forum and see a lot of this stuff for yourself. So just give me a second, and I'm going to share my screen here. No, that's the wrong one. I want to share this one here. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. Should probably in the future get a better name for these Zoom calls, shouldn't I? I wonder if I can actually change it while we're on the call. Sorry, this is not as smooth and fluid as some of our other calls, but that's just going to be it for the first time we're going through this. Okay, so look, let's just quickly go into, it's pretty cool. Like, I really like this functionality, by the way, and I really think we'll do a little bit more of this over time. Definitely, I really like it. So I'm just on my screen now. I'm in the Enterprise DNA forum, right? So let's see if can I zoom in? Let's see if I can zoom in. Not sure if that works just yet. We'll see. So if I scroll down here, I'm going to just scroll down to the category, which is Power BI Challenges. And you'll see here that we've got a detailed category or detailed part of the forum where you can actually review all of the different challenges. And what I want to do is I want to jump into the Power BI Challenge 3. So recently, this just rounded off on last weekend, and it was all about HR data insights. And so what we were given was a scenario, and I'll just see if I'll just scroll up to the top here, and we'll quickly run into it. So we were given a scenario where we had data being extracted from an HR system, which was all about consultations between policy changes happening within an organization. And so there was 2 interviews per policy change, and we needed to showcase or analyze what was the difference in sentiment from the first interview to the second one. And was there any difference between who the interviewers were, what region the interviewees were from, or what position they had in the business. And so it was a really real world scenario that we were dealing with. Okay. And what was so amazing about the challenge, and really has been so good about the challenges so far over the last few weeks when we've been running these. So this is a new initiative from Enterprise DNA, is the diversity of thought and the diversity of creativity from participants. And so that has been really eye-opening and has really highlighted to me personally how good these challenges are as a learning tool, as a way to really upskill yourself in Power BI, because you're not just learning techniques, you're actually learning critical thinking. You're actually applying Power BI in a real world sense, and that is really powerful, right? That is really powerful to be able to do that. Okay, so that was the challenge. You can access all of this, right? Or everything that I'm showing here, you can actually access as well. It's just on our forum. You can, the only requirement to actually participate really is to actually have Enterprise DNA membership. But I do have an exciting announcement of what we're doing to try and open up the challenges to a wider group very soon. So look forward to sharing that with you. Okay, now let's have a look at some of these submissions. So because the submissions were just awesome, just amazing work by those who who are currently Enterprise DNA members. And I just loved, I learned, I got ideas out of these. And so anyone who is working in Power BI is going to get a lot of tips and techniques that they can embed into their own reports, from either the design or the critical thinking, as I mentioned, or just the insights that you can create. And so if you have a look at this, this is by Martin, one of our members. And so if you have a look at what this is trying to show, you'll see down here that we're trying to answer, what happens during every consultation. So every policy change, right? And so here are the policy changes. We've got working hours, pay policy, health, safety, performance, and then interview 1, interview 2, interview 1, interview 2. And so we're representing here, if you see, what the sentiment change is. And so you'll see here that this down here in the legend, we've got happy is dark blue. And so you'll see from interview 1 to interview 2, you had a larger portion who became happier with the policy change. And so this was actually represented quite well. You're going to see lots of different ways that this can be showcased in other examples that I'll show you. But one thing that Martin actually did with this particular showcase was he actually came up with a sentiment metric, which wasn't embedded in the raw data, which I really liked. And then that sentiment score was able to be reused. So there's some DAX logic built into that, was able to be used across different dimensions. And so you could filter by, in this particular case, by region. What was the sentiment score per region? So you'll see here that it looks like sentiment was down slightly from interview 1 to interview 2 overall. And then for each different region, it was down different amounts. Okay. So really liked that one. And there was a bit more there, but I want to just, there was well over 20 submissions. So I want to go into a few of those and a few more of these on this call. Now, so I had a submission. So I actually got involved in the challenge, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed just having to think outside the box, think about data that I hadn't really seen before, and try and embed a lot of my best practices into it, right? And so I just open up this image on the forum. You'll see here that I represented similar data. So I had my policy changes here. I've just got a consultation name. We've got working hours, pay policy, so the same things, but then I represented the change in sentiment slightly differently. I put 2 column charts next to each other, and I got rid of all of the elements in that chart so I could show. So say for the working hours consultation, you could see that the happies was a quite considerable jump, right? And you'll see here that there was quite a big jump in a lot of these from interview 1 to interview 2, which, even though this data is totally random, it's totally made up data, but it's interesting that you could actually see some sort of trend there, and you could actually showcase it. And within the report itself, if you actually clicked on a particular consultation, you would then see all of the individual underlying answers from participants, like who might have said a survey or something. You can actually see those specific ones for each different consultation. And then you can place filters up here for interview 1 and interview 2. So there's quite a different take from Martin, right? And you can also actually play around with this report. So if you come to this link, I'll put this link in the chat so you can actually see it as well if you want to actually click through. So you can actually play around with this report as well if you want to actually navigate to here, to the actual challenge page. And I've embedded my publish to web link in there. Okay, so we had a few others. So a few other interesting ideas. I'll just scroll down to some interesting ones. So this one was from Greg, one of our enterprise DNA experts. And I really liked some quite unique aspects of this report. One of the more unique ones was this text up the top here. And what Greg did was he used a visual where he could embed measures into the text. And so these bigger values here that are bolded, these are actually dynamic. And so when you do go and place these filters on down the bottom here, this text actually provides the right context for the visuals in that report page. And as you change your filters, it changes the actual text. So instead of having to think of the answer yourself, or basically embedded into this report is the, say, key takeaways, right? And so I really, really like that. And also I liked the efforts down the bottom here to highlight, what you have selected, because sometimes with these drop-down filters, you can select a few things, but all it says is multiple selections, which isn't that great. But what he's done down here is he's actually tried to highlight what has been selected and sort of name every single selection. So it's much easier for you to understand, or any consumer to actually understand what's actually in the report. So I really like this one as well. Pardon me. Okay. Oh. I really do like my tea, by the way. So hopefully, hopefully you do as well. Okay. So a couple more. So there was a couple other interesting ones, and what's really good about our community, and I'll just show you this. What's really great about our community is the fact that we all sort of discuss everyone's submissions, right? We've just started doing this, and I think this is really, really valuable. And so if I just pop to, I'm just going to pop to project updates. So project updates on our forum, I'll just put this in the chat as well. So what we do is that everyone who submits something to the challenge also writes about what their submission and their creation of their report. And what's so great about this is because you're not actually just seeing the final output. You're actually able to hear from the developer and understand their thought process and some of the great techniques that they might have embedded into their report that you can't see because they might be in the model or they might be in the query editor. And so if I just come to my one here, so I actually created one myself. So HR Consultation Insights Power BI Challenge 3. And I've actually, within here, on YouTube as well, I'm not sure if you're aware, I actually recorded myself developing my entire report. And so this is about an hour-and-a-half of video, and you can walk through how I built it from scratch. And we're going to put a speed build video up on as well with a bit of music, so you can actually see the whole development in under 5 minutes too. But you'll see here that I've written up everything that I did for my report. So you'll see that I, obviously started in the query editor, brought the data in, and building a model, building the right model around your reports is just so key. I talk about this a lot on all our webinars, etc. And so, in terms of really getting a solid understanding of your Power BI development, this is why the challenges are so great, because you're not just seeing one tip here and one tip there. You're getting a really good overview of, a real world scenario. You're seeing, well, how do you conceptually think about the scenario? Then how do you bring the data in, shape the data model, then actually build the data model, which always looks very similar. If you know the way that I do things in Power BI, I've got this waterfall technique in the model here that really simplifies things down. I talk all about it in the video and in this particular thread, and so on and so forth. How I built the visualization, how I actually did the comparison of sentiment from one diffuser to the next, so because it was quite a unique technique that I used, so on and so forth. So this is just one. This is just one that I did myself, but there's lots, right? So you'll see here. We'll jump into Diana's, because Diana actually eventually won, right? And so Diana here talked through how she actually developed her report. Actually, I think maybe she actually did it in this one here. So we'll find it here. Another great thing to review here would be Brian's thread here. Brian's one of our enterprise DNA experts. He is very active on our forum, also produces videos for our YouTube channel, if you've heard some of those. And so he didn't actually have time to develop a solution, a complete solution, but had some brilliant ideas around how to build some overlying metrics, some additional metrics to data like this. Right, so almost creating like a score, performance score for each interview, or for the difference between one interview to the next, and some just brilliant ideas, right? That you can review and will get you thinking out of the box, which I really like. You know, even I would never even thought of this, but the way that Brian sort of brought his ideas together in the thread, it was just fantastic, and I certainly you know, have got some good takeaways into some future developments that I might work on, or some future challenges that I might get involved in. Okay, so we got, I'll just do a couple more. I won't go on for too long. We are just sort of testing this Zoom call functionality, which seems to be going pretty well. So something we might keep doing at the moment. So that's good. So Alex here, I really liked his use of the heat map just to show the sentiment. So again, something completely different. And has placed some sort of column charts and bar charts around that heat map, and then has used, it looks like quite a similar technique to what I used in putting these two column charts next to each other to show the difference. And so you can see here that the happy, so it's similar, right? So the happies are all increased slightly, which was similar to what I had. Mohammed had a pretty good submission here, where I really like this donut chart. I'm pretty sure that's a custom visual, so something to have a look at if you like those breakout donut charts. He's also embedded his report here. Now I just want to scroll down. I want to show you Diana. So Diana took out this challenge. So she actually won a free membership that she can use or hand out to anyone she likes. And what was so good about this was the creativity around the navigation. And so you'll see here that and she actually did this in PowerPoint and actually brought it over into Power BI. But what I really liked about this, not only the navigation, but the simplicity of it. And so you could, you know, just by the way that she's used the logos and the colors, it's so easy to know just by taking one glance at this report, you know, these are your bad outcomes, you know, these are your good outcomes, so on and so forth. And you can see that she's just used a line graph from, instead of two column charts, she's just used, an area chart showing interview 1 to interview 2, interview 1 to interview 2. Just the simplicity. It's just so easy to sort of glance at this. The color scheme all works. The navigation is seriously cool. You know, it just works, right? And that's why Diana ultimately took it out. You know, even though it was quite a competitive challenge this time around. Okay, and so we had a few more. We had a few more down here. So again, I would definitely check out the link if you want to learn more and see how this all works. And you'll see here that you know, there's just such good discussion around, you will learn so much from just the discussion in this particular thread, right? You know, if you really want to improve just your general thinking about how you can go about working in Power BI and creating really high quality reports, this is this is the perfect way to learn. And this is another one from Walter. So Walter has been one of our prolific challenge participants and has created some awesome reports and visualizations. And so you'll see here that this is a bit more detailed, and probably, yeah, I think probably we can improve the color scheme a little bit there. Don't really love the black as much, but again, Walter has basically detailed all of his analysis that he's done within DAX, and then also a bit around his visualization as well. So you can come and learn a little bit about that. I'm not sure if he's embedded the report on this one. No, he hasn't. Where's Diana? So Diana within this thread has actually detailed step by step how she developed her model. So you see here her model development. And then as we go down, oh, you can actually, yeah, so you can actually download Diana's PBIX file here. So definitely do that if you want to really see that amazing navigation that she created. I'm just gonna download it myself. Let's see if I can open it while we're on the call here. Why not? I'm just gonna finish my tea if that's all right. What do you think of this more relaxed live streaming, everyone, through Zoom? Are you? I know I can see a few on the call. Just let me know in the chat. I'm interested. I'm interested if we should keep doing this, because it's not something we've done ever really in the past. We're more sort of done sort of structured training through our webinars, which I do enjoy. I know everyone gets a lot out of it, but I thought we have so many great things going on at Enterprise DNA. You know, it's good to have a range of different ways that we put content out there. Okay, I'll bring this in just so we can have one good look at what Diana's done here. Cool. So check this out. So, and this is actually detailed on the thread, like how Diana actually did this. So I'm not going to do it justice in terms of him building these layers. So kind of like a page turner. I mean, I've never seen anything like this before. So I just thought it was incredible. So we've got some trend analysis here. And then what you can do is you can click through to the next page by just holding in desktop. You've got to hold down Control. And then this is where you can see a bit more detail. And so obviously place in a filter if you want to actually look at you know, a certain data point. And then if you want to click through to the last page, you see how it moves from one side to the next. That is just seriously cool. And this gives you a bit more of a summary of all of the end metrics. So, you know, we all looked, the conclusion here is we all looked at exactly the same data, but came up with really diverse visualizations and you know, and some very, very compelling reports, which is great to see. Everyone's really learning and learning from the platform and really taking away lots of good ideas from reports that they're seeing on our showcase, etc. I'll just navigate to our showcase. So just to round things off, I'll just show you. And then I'll make an announcement around Challenge 4 shortly as well, which is quite exciting. But you'll see here that we've also got a lot of showcases here, so you can get a lot of inspiration. So I would recommend having a good look in here in the future. If you do need that inspiration for your reports, you know, it's you can actually dive in and play around with a lot of these, and a lot of the reports a lot of the winners from our challenges will also be showcased here, and members will be able to actually download all of the winners and good reports that we are collecting from the challenges, which is quite exciting, right? So another really great benefit of Enterprise DNA membership. Okay, thanks John. I see a comment there. That's great. Yeah. That's cool. I like it. Some days I'm just sitting at my desk thinking about Power BI, and I thought, well, maybe I should just talk to some. Maybe I should just stream my thoughts. Hopefully you wouldn't get too bored of me. But yeah, I mean, obviously I think about Power BI a lot, so why not? And especially with these challenges we've got going on, there's just so much great content, more content than ever before is on the Enterprise DNA platform. And so it's good to just talk about it. Okay, now last thing before we go, before I sign off, is Power BI Challenge 4, right? So I know not everyone is an Enterprise DNA, has Enterprise DNA membership, even though I'd love you to, because there's just so much you can learn through our platform. But we are going to open up the challenge to anyone. So whether you're a member or a non-member, what we're going to do is we're going to run dual competitions, one on the Enterprise DNA forum, which will be for members, but then also one on the Power BI forum for community forums. So Power BI community forum, because I know a lot of Power BI users have signed up there. And for this delivery app review, Power BI Challenge 4, anyone can participate, right? And we're going to have two dual competitions running exactly the same time, same awards for both, and hopefully by doing that we can increase, we can double the size of the amount of submissions we get, maybe even more, who knows, and everyone can benefit. So really looking forward to seeing how that goes this time around. I think that it's another good initiative for us on the challenge, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. What I think I'll do, I won't actually do an overview of Challenge 4 right now. I want to do a separate video for that. So maybe next week I might do another quick live event and just discuss the challenge and all the sort of minor details about it. How you can get involved, how you can actually participate, and then we'll really start to see a bit more traction after that. I would imagine. So yeah, okay. Well, let's just leave it at that. It's cool to connect with you all through Zoom. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and yeah, I did. I thought it was great. So I'll let's see how we can develop this platform, this new sort of streaming platform a little bit more, and what we're doing around enterprise DNA. We'll see how we go. Okay, everyone, appreciate it. Good to catch up once again, and look forward. Hold on, I'll just stop sharing. Look forward to catching up with you again soon. So take care, all the best, and see you next time. Okay, take care.